What's up, guys? David Nguyen and Eddie Solorio here.
Hey, what's up, guys?
With Mr. Brian Sebastian, and this is part 3 of the exclusive interview, and we're going to be talking about why... I'll let you take it away, Brian. Go ahead.
Why women are flaky?
Okay.
Okay. Here's the thing. One of the things about casting for movies or even a job interview, these women are so bad now. I like to give people chances based on if I see something. A casting director or a location scout, when they see something, they know it's right for something. You save it, you go out and try to secure it. Trying to convince people to do certain things that would be good for them, for their career, for their esteem, or, you just never know who you're going to meet that can enhance your career, no matter what it may be. When it comes to women these days, they're not that good. Something's happened to them. Whether some of them are afraid to take chances, a lot of them are flaky. It's very frustrating. I'm not just talking for me, I'm talking about for my friends in general, not only in this country, but well, actually the ones outside the country are much better. They're more driven. It's like the American girls, there's something wrong. It's kind of sad in a way. You have to wait for them to call you back, they say yes, they show up late. No, and that's not good when you're giving people opportunities to do stuff. I have 1, 2, 3, I have 3 girls who are just there. No matter what state they're in or what country they may be in, they'll make it back because they know what they're doing is good for them, good for their career, and it's good for their future.
Okay. You want to add anything to that, Eddie?
No, that was pretty good. That's pretty good.
Well, he's afraid to talk. He might get in trouble.
Okay. So this newer generation of girls, you're saying they're really flaky and they're just not there, huh?
You can probably count how many you may meet, say from the ages of 21 to, I'm talking 21 to 23.
Okay.
It wasn't always that way. Again, going back to technology, the more technology you have, the more you can find out on things. But it's almost like they still don't believe stuff, or they don't believe, or they don't have faith in themselves that they could actually achieve something. And that's kind of sad for someone who likes to help people. It's sort of like a casting director picking someone out of the crowd and say, hey, have you ever thought of being a model or being a casting director? Here's our card, call this number. And the person goes, yeah, I'd like to do this, and then they misplace the number, or they lose the card, or they don't call. And you just know that person is right for what a director or a producer might be looking for. You just never know, and just don't take chances anymore.
Yeah. It gets back to the whole thing where people are like locked up in their own room and they don't have people skills, and it's the whole online thing that they're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to be good online, but sooner or later you got to walk out your front door. You've got to go for a job interview. You've got to go out and snooze and have your portfolio or your resume or a business card. You've got to get those things. And sometimes nothing beats good word of mouth. Sometimes for a lot of stuff that I do, I always ask my friends, who do you know that's just reliable, it's got a great personality, that's not flaky, that likes movies, that likes, or who's interested in reading books. How many books do you read a year? 1, 2, 3?
Me? I actually read about, probably, I would say, 3 to 4 books a year. I like to read. I like to read.
3 to 4 books a year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't read anymore. That's very sad.
I tend to implement that as a daily routine. Just read a book. Just read at least, even if it's like 20 minutes a day or whatever. Just read a book. Even if I read it before, just kind of, keep it going.
What kind of books are you into? Well, what kind of books do you read, Brian?
I like autobiography. I like self-help books.
Yeah.
I like things that will inspire me.
Yeah.
I can turn around and say, you need to read this book.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is really good. Again, it goes back to marketing. Because if you're in real estate or you want to be in business, would you like to talk to Donald Trump or Bill Gates or Warren Buffett? Or if you're in film, would you want to meet a George Lucas or a Steven Spielberg or a Robert Evans? You need to find people that inspire me, you, no matter what it may be. You never know. So when it comes to me, I tend to meet a lot of those people, and my job is, since I'm not an actor or a director or a screenwriter, I want to turn these people on to their idols or people that will inspire them to go out and do stuff. That's my function here on Earth, and I like to do those things. I think it's really important to do that. It's sort of like, again, going back to finding a tourist who's lost. How many people take the time to say, oh, you're lost, where do you need to go? Because I know if I was in a foreign country, and I've been in 32 countries, And we all get lost. We don't always get the help when we get lost.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crucial. You never know what will happen. People really appreciate that fact. I could be walking down the hill and there's not a lot of blacks that live where I live, and I've always had that. I've got people who actually stop and say, you want to ride? I've seen you coming, going. Sometimes I like to walk.
Yeah.
Gas is going to be $4 real soon. We're denying it's going to be $4, but it's pretty close. You know?
Yeah.
It will be. It's inevitable.
Okay.
Cool.
So,
What kind of books would you recommend reading?
I'm not into fantasy. That's not
Okay.
me. Most women tend to like fantasy. I like stuff that'll educate you, that'll inspire you, that'll help people out. That's what I like. That's what helps me.
Yeah.
So what's your top 3 books of all time that you would recommend anybody who wants to start reading to read?
Okay, well, 2 of them. One was Behold the Pale Horse. That was a really good book about the government. And this came out in 1987 or 88. Forgot the guy's name. It's Daniel Cooper was his name, out of Arizona. He used to work for the government, and he was talking about all these theories and things that the government was doing back then, which has come true now, which is interesting. He documented everything, from alien abductions, providing equipment alien abductions, to the internet. Before the internet hit, he talked about all those things, to the Mason. You know, to see the side of the Masons, why do you know who they are, what they do, stuff like that. Secret societies, shadow governments, all that stuff he talked about.
Okay.
One of the other good autobiographies, believe it or not, I read was Danny Bonaduce's autobiography, one of the best ones I've ever read. That was really good. And then there are spiritual books called Cryon books, which I've read.
Cryons?
Cryons, Kryon, Cryon books.
Cryons.
You can get them at any spiritual store. Stuff like that, so they kind of range.
Okay. Eddie's, any suggestions for books for you?
You know, he hit it right on there. I like the books where it is like self-developing, personal developing. I need to get into those autobiography books. I haven't read too many of those. Well, one of them is more of a story. The Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
The 12 Pillars with Jim Rohn and I forget the other guy's name.
Chris Wagner or something.
Yeah, that's a good book. The other book, How to Influence and
Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie,
Yeah.
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah,
Have you heard of that?
Yeah,
That's a good
Okay.
book.
that still holds up.
Yeah.
And those are books that have really been beneficial. And I like to, like I was going back earlier, I like to read them, you know, like 20, 30 minutes.
We got 8 seconds. 8 seconds.
Or 8 seconds. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna cut it short, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Take care, Danny, and peace, guys.
See you soon.